Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. I am going to be finishing up what we started yesterday. I don't know if you recall what we were talking about yesterday. I was trying to set up a website, and I had run into some problems. I had purchased a domain, and at that point, I went to install WordPress, and when I did, I couldn't install WordPress, and I didn't know what was going on. I would talk to customer service about it, and it turns out that I was trying to do it too soon, and it takes a little while for them to set everything up on the backside. And HostMonster it cost me $27 to register the domain, and you kind of get what you pay for. So I had to wait, and that was just what I had to do. So they installed WordPress for me overnight, though, so it should be. I believe it was there this morning when I checked. So I'm going to pick up where we left off, and we'll recap what we did yesterday so that it's not complete. You could probably start here with this video, and we'll be able to go with that then. Let me see if my little monitor thing here is working. I believe it was this one. Nope. Wait a minute. What was that? Let's see. How can I check this without showing you what it shows? What was that? Is that Facebook? That's still showing Facebook. Okay, it's not supposed to show Facebook right now. Let me see what happens if I close out of this. Oh, maybe I can just refresh it. Sorry about this. I don't like that it's taking this long, but there we go. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, I don't think you guys really want to see what's going on with what comments I was making last night. All right. So here we go. We are on the HostMonster page. To recap what we did so far to set up a website, what you need to do is you go to hostmonster.com and you set up your account. I'm going to go ahead and log in. I've already got everything configured there, but like I said, it's just like setting up any kind of application or anything where you have to fill out forms. Just fill out the forms and give them what they need to know about. So yesterday what I did was I went to domains here, and I went to purchase domain, and I entered my stinkwoodandbeam.com site. Today it should show up as, it's still showing up as available. Great. Well, it shouldn't show up as available anymore because I actually did buy it yesterday. But basically what you do is you select the one you want, you put it in your cart, you go to your cart, and wait a minute, it's not going to add it, in fact. Good. Okay, so we'll put in something different. We'll just be like, Joshua Gadbois Consulting. So you put in the name of the site that you want. It looks up to see if it's available. If it's available, you select it, add it to your cart, and then you go to your cart. It automatically puts it at 2 years. You select 1 year, it drops the price down to what the total is, and it's this amount. You go to checkout, you pay for it with PayPal, is what I did yesterday, and you're good to go, and that registers the domain. And then you have to wait 24 hours, basically. It was probably about 12 hours later that they finally got around to getting everything installed. I went through chat, and the lady I talked to, Fatima, was very kind and very polite and did the best she could with what she had to work with. But at the end of the day, it was in the queue. A lot of people buy sites every day, and I just had to wait my turn for the systems to get around to doing the installations. It is what it is. The way these companies work is they buy these machines and host them at these large data centers, and they lease out the connections, and all they have to do is register with the domain name service organization that rules all this stuff, and then they lease you that name, right, and these rights, and they just manage that for you. And it's just something that they created with the internet to make money and to regulate with this stuff, so everybody doesn't have the same names and the same IP addresses. And it's just sort of to add a little bit of layers of control and organization around it. But we could have done it with an international government organization. We could have done it with NATO, could have been the coordinator for global IP addresses, but instead of doing that, we decided to just let companies do it because we're capitalist bastards. And that's just how it is. So, well, anyway, that's why we're making websites, to make money. Anyway, back to the point at hand. So after you've registered your domain, like I registered my domain, it'll show up in your domains over here. There are some changes that I had to make yesterday to when I first got it. That was over on the manage. If you go to the manage thing, that's where all these settings are. And basically, when you have a domain, this is where a lot of your settings get manipulated, right? DNS settings are very important if you ever want to change where you host your machine, like this @ matters and localhost, and all this stuff is a little bit techy and a little bit complicated. But your ChatGPT Copilot person over on the right here in your Edge browsers, if you have that turned on, super useful assistant for this kind of thing and helps you figure that stuff out. If you're a complete noob, it's a very scary thing, and expect it to take like 6 hours for everything that would take an hour for me to do. It'd probably take about 6 hours to figure out how to do it. But there's only like 5 or 6 things you have to learn how to do. So altogether, it might take you 30 hours to learn all the things that you need to do to set up this stuff. It's not super easy, but all the instructions have been written a million times on the internet, and all that got programmed into ChatGPT, and we all know how to do this now. All we have to do is ask our AI assistant how to do this, and it'll tell us how to do it. And the steps, the AI is not great. It's not 100% accurate. The steps don't always work, but if they don't work, you say, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? And it says, oh, I'm sorry, let me fix that. And it gives you somebody else's opinion on how to fix it. All this does is it saves us going through Google and going link by link and trying to figure out how to do this, trying to figure out how it applies to us, and discerning the difference. Copilot just adds a filter to all that stuff and makes it something you can ask for information. So anyway, that's what that is. You know what? I just realized you can't see me, and I hate that. There we go. Okay. Anyway, so here we go. Where was I? I was, all right, so we've got everything set up. We've got the domain set up. Installing WordPress on a site is supposed to be super easy. It was not super easy for me yesterday. You're supposed to be able to go to my site, and it should show up here. And then you should just say, add a site, right? And add a site should show your menu to do this, and just put in the site name, your tagline. If you do the advanced things, you can change the email address that it's associated with, and what your WordPress admin stuff is, and you put all that in, you hit next, and it'll install the site. But if it doesn't have everything set up on the back end yet, it can't do it. And that's what the error was that we were running into yesterday was about. They just hadn't gotten around to setting it up. But now that it's all set up, I should be able to here's the chat log that I had with the wonderful Fatima. She was very, very kind and very sweet about everything, and got everything fixed for me. So it still took all day to get to it, but it is what it is, isn't it? So all right, so let's go back to the domains, and this should be showing. I'm a little nervous now because it's not showing the Stinkwood site that was there just a minute ago. Okay, here it is. So stinkwoodandbeam.com. After you've got WordPress installed, by hook or by crook, and always use customer service if it doesn't work right the first time, because you're just going to waste your time, in my opinion. So anyway, once you've got WordPress installed, the next step is to go in and set up your theme. Now, the theme that I picked was Sinatra. It's free. It didn't cost me a dime. And I had it installed as part of my installation. And this is where you would go in and customize all this in WordPress or whatever. When you install WordPress, it comes with these other themes. The Hatchery 2024 is every year they have a default theme that they recommend, and there's 2023 and 2024 and 2022 are installed automatically as this. So you got the last 3 years most popular, or at least recommended themes, get installed too. So it's good practice to delete this. I'm not going to do it today. Browse premium themes. This is the premium themes are great once you figure out kind of how themes work. Like I would recommend using a free theme, and learn how WordPress themes operate. They operate a lot like SharePoint. So for me, it's pretty simple to take my skill sets from my Microsoft day job, or I don't work at Microsoft, I work with Microsoft products, and take my skill sets from SharePoint and apply it to WordPress. It's very, very similar idea of how it works, even though the technology is slightly different. It's all SQL database in the back end. So there's only so many ways to do things, but uh, anyway, if you're starting out from scratch, just these 2024, 2022, 2023 themes are a great way to get started with this kind of thing. I don't think they come with shops, so you want a theme that has a shop. And I picked the Sinatra for otherworldcrafts.com for Nicole a couple weeks ago because it had a shop, and it just looked pretty cool, and it's been pretty cool. It does the job. Doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. As you get more familiar with it, you can figure out what you need that would be better for you, and it's trial and error. And you can end up spending a lot of money on a bunch of bullshit. It's not safe. It's not highly regulated, and there's no way to really take people to court for screwing you over or giving you a free product that actually has all the things that you have to pay extra to get the features that they advertised. When I run into that, I just delete it and I find somebody else that did it for free, and it takes a little bit. You have to do some research. You have to look at the plugins and the way you can get different things to work on your site is through plugins. WooCommerce is how you charge for people's products, and it also has a shipping thing that saves you a ton of money on shipping. Wonderful product, but it's called a plugin, and the WordPress gives you basically it's like if you ever get like a desktop computer, it has all these ports on it that you can plug things into and you can do stuff with it. These plugins are just like that. Like I've got a mouse, a keyboard, and a little video editing device that I've got plugged into my Mac right now. And the keyboard lets me type, the mouse lets me move my shit around, and this video editing thing, it's highly technical, and I probably didn't need it, but it's kind of a cool gadget, but whatever. Yeah, so these plugins that you plug into your site are the same way, and they just let you do different things with your site. So anyway, let's go ahead and go to customize in WordPress. So when you've picked your theme, and like I said, Sinatra is the one I'm using. It's super easy. It starts out like this, and your main page is Hello World. And if we go to Stinkwood and beam.com, this is what my website is right now. If you go there right now, this is what you'd see. And it says by admin, May 11th, uncategorized, one comment, edit. This is my first post that is generated with my site. I have this. I have a sample page that came with it. And this is my blog, because WordPress used to be just a blog site, but it's not a blog site anymore. So the first thing you want to do is go to your homepage settings and create a static page, and we'll use sample page as our homepage for now, right? And your post page is going to be, like, you have to set all that stuff up. Anyway, you hit publish to make your changes up here, and that's when you'll see changes on your blog. So now when I go back to, your website. So now if I go back here and refresh my default page, it's going to take me to the sample page instead of to the other thing. So now I'm going to go in and set up all the details for my site. So we're going to go back and we're going to start with general settings, layout, full width contained. That's what this is. All right, so here's stretched. Oh, you can't really see the difference because there's no box content, has a little box around it. But like stretched would be if there was like a graphic behind it. You could see what the different things. But basically what you do at this point is you just click on these things on the left, and you decide whether or not you like how it looks on the right. This is called a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. WYSI. Anyway, WYSIWYG. It's what you see is what you get. And as you make the changes over here, you see it reflected over here. And you just make your changes as you go until you like how you like it. So like I'm going to go with I like reds, like a darker red, and background color can be white, background image. If I wanted to select my file, I could go to my pictures and go to, I don't know, go to occult money. These are my occult money images that I've made for occultists who are using their occult arts to make money on occult things. So yes, I'll go ahead and make that because I am doing that right now. So anyway, it uploads the file. It shows up. On a good day, it shows up. And again, this is all janky ass material, right? So this is all stuff that's designed by people in their basements. We get varying levels of quality. Sometimes it works better than other times, and it's almost always slow. That said, it is entry level, it is affordable, and it is effective, and it's pretty efficient compared to a lot of the fly-by-night stuff. There's much worse stuff out there, like much, much worse. This is the intermediate level stuff. There's some pro stuff. You can even get pros to do this for you who know how to use like the really high-end, expensive programs to do this really well. I'm not that great at all this stuff. I'm just kind of I'm a hack. I'm not a hacker. I'm just a hack. I figure this shit out on my own and I do it, and I share what I have to share because I think it's important that we all have some basic skills at this kind of thing. But nobody has to do it my way if they don't want to. So this is turning out kind of ugly. I'm going to get rid of the background image because I don't really like that, and I'm going to put my text color back to black and keep this fairly simple so we can just get through the demo. Okay, so we'll go ahead and publish that for now. Black and white and red all over. All right, so that's the layout. Base colors, base typography. You can pick different fonts for different settings and things. The default is what I usually leave it at. I went to a lot of trouble downloading fonts and installing them and figuring out how to do it on my Academia Hermetica site. And it was a lot of hours that gave me just really different letters that nobody noticed, and I don't do that anymore. So anyway, I think it's kind of tiring. All right, so these are just more settings for your what is this? Primary buttons, your buttons on your site. I don't know. I don't change a lot of this stuff. Miscellaneous settings. Yeah, these are all like advanced stuff that you don't really have to worry about right now. Honestly, I just keep my generic default settings for most of this stuff. Logos and site titles. So, okay, I don't have a logo yet, but my site title is not my blog, but Stinkwood and Beans. And my tagline is Gadbois woodworking and laser craft. All right, and we're going to display the tagline. Yes. I'll get rid of Gadbois. I'll just keep so the reason I call it Stinkwood, in case you missed it in the first video, my last name is Gadbois, and that's French for, I'm come from French Canadian background. And when my people moved from the Alsace-Lorraine region to Canada, we changed our name to Gadbois because our the way we made money was we were woodworkers, I'm guessing, and our last name became Gadbois, which is stinkwood or spoilt wood, and it's like a joke. It's like calling a tinsmith a tinker. I don't know why that was funny to call a tinsmith a tinker, but it was funny to call a woodworker Gadbois and Canadian French. So, in honoring the tradition of my ancestors, I'm going to call my website Stinkwood and Beam, just sort of as an in joke for anybody who knows what Gadbois means. But woodworking and laser craft, and also people are like, that's a terrible name. It sounds like your stuff stinks, And it's like, first of all, nobody gives a crap what you name your site. Nobody cares. Nobody gives two shits whether you're Rufus Opus or Joshua Gadbois. They care about what the content is. All right, and if your website needs to just stick in someone's head, what it represents, what it implies to people, gurus and sales gurus and online marketers are going to try to tell you it's your first impression and it's going to make it, and it's true, it's your first impression, but all you really want it to do is stick in their heads. I don't have to worry about Rufus Opus. Everybody knows everybody who cares who Rufus Opus is can figure it out. I don't need that, and it's kind of weird enough that it sticks out, But Stinkwood and Beam is going to stick in people's head, because it's kind of dumb, it's kind of weird, and who would name their site that? Someone who's named Gadbois, and it's kind of a joke, and I can make fun of myself with it, and I enjoy that too. So anyway, so you set up your name and your title. We need some text here. So this is where Copilot comes in. Super useful. I am making a website to sell my woodworking, crafts, and laser engraving services. For I need a home page, body content. I need body content. I need body content for my home page that explains that provides a smooth segue to buying the products while something like that. Anyway, so I'll just put that in there and see what it comes up with. And if I don't like it, I won't use it. But honestly, it's not going to be that hard to. I mean, since this is just a sample site, I'll just go ahead and welcome to maybe of handcrafted woodworking, precision laser engraving, all under one roof. Yeah, so they say at your brand name. Yeah, this was a poor prompt on my part, I must say. Oh my gosh! All right, that's awful. Yeah. Okay, so let me rephrase that. Can you rewrite that? So rewrite that with the business name, Stinkwood and Beam. And more about custom woodworking or artisanal wood crafts, wood turning crafts, like bowls and urns and spindle type materials, and laser engraving services for things like pens or real estate keychains or bar signs or walnut ashtrays. Right. So you just put in a bunch of crap here, and it will walk it through it and figure out sort of what you want. So this is called iterations. You iterate through the different prompts until it looks like what you want it to look like when you work with AI. Artisanal wood turning crafts are meticulously hand turned, with each piece showcasing. So what it spits out is awful. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty awful. It's not that awful, but it's pretty awful. So what you get though is a starting point, and it's basically based on what all the internet says you should do about things, and it's like if you took everybody's advice and crammed it all together and averaged it out, this is what it would come up with. It's not great. It's not ideal, of course, but what it does do is it gives you a way to edit the content of your page pretty quickly. All right. So now that I've got that stuff done, I do want to turn off the default sidebar. I'll go ahead and publish this as it is, though, and we'll paste in that content on that home page. Is it published? It's published. Okay, yeah, up here it says it's published. Okay, so now that it's published, close out of here, go to the dashboard. If you when you're logged in as the admin, that you get these menus up here in WordPress. So that's how you find your way around. Under Stinkwood and Beam here, there's a thing called a dashboard, and this is your master interface for all of your stuff. So here I'm going to go into my pages. And all of your menu on the left shows like posts are where you do your blog posts, media is where you upload your files and videos, images, all your graphics that you use on your products. Pages are where you handle all your pages. This is just privacy, sample page. We will add a new page. I thought this came with a home page. So this is going to explain what a block editor is. This is how pages are created on WordPress sites. This is super cool and very easy to use. This is how SharePoint works too. You get a page that's set up with sections, and then you add little things to it that represent things that you want to add to it. So like if you want text, you add a paragraph piece and you type in that paragraph piece. And if you want a picture, you add a picture thing and you organize that on your page and you upload the file for the picture. And you do all that stuff. And each piece of the page that you want is a set of content, like we just generated an AI, that has to be uploaded to the site and then saved, positioned on the page. So publishing a website consists of content, an interface layer that you can display to users, right? And then all the programming that goes on in the background for that to support all that, right? But the main things that you have to worry about when you set up your site is picking the framework that you want it to be in and generating the content and then plugging that content into the pieces and putting those on the page. And it sounds like a lot. I understand it sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's really not. It's just copying things from one section, pasting it into another, and clicking save and clicking publish. And it is a process, but it's not difficult. And it's something that it's as easy as making a post on Facebook, or if you've ever set up a Facebook ad, it's less complicated than setting up a Facebook ad. Okay, it's super easy to make websites, and web publishing is very, very easy. And this little instruction guide here is actually going to teach you how to use this stuff. You know, they want you to use it because they make money with it. So you read the words. This is a thing that nobody does. I don't do it for sure. But if you read the words, it tells you how to do all of these things. And there's instructions on everything. And if you forget, there's help. I mean, I don't know where the help button is here, but like if you hit plus, this is how you can add things. But anyway, this is your title. This is what the page name is going to be, right? So this is my home page, right? And I'm going to, it automatically defaults to a paragraph block here. These are the default blocks you can add. There's paragraph, image, it could be a heading, gallery, list, quote. These are the default ones. If you browse all, these are all the extra ones you can do. So when you install things like WooCommerce, it'll have WooCommerce widgets over here. And when you add things like I don't know. LearnDash is what I use for my courses over on my Rufus Opus site. The course management thing gives you a bunch of items you can add in here. So like a list of all your courses will show up, and you can say, show all the courses I have configured, and it'll go out and look at all the courses you have configured, and it'll show them here in an organized list. And these are all things that the programmers have set up for you to make your life easier, right? So we're going to go ahead and add use this paragraph block here, and we're going to copy our stuff from the AI. We're going to paste it in over here, right? And we're going to make that the heading. And delete that. And delete that, I said. Okay, so sometimes you have to go to the menu. All of these are separate blocks, right? So like what I just said, we insert a paragraph block or an image block or whatever to contain what we want on the page. Each line now is a block. Every time you hit enter and you paste it in, that's a block. All these little, like this hashtag here told it to make it heading 1. You know, this hashtag on ready to explore over here also told it to make it heading 1 on the page. So that's how it interacts with the AI stuff, right? So it understands what's going on. Shop now is going to be a link to my shop page. I haven't got my shop page set up yet, but I will do that in a little bit, right? So first of all, so now that the home page is done, I'll hit publish. And are you ready to publish? Yes, I'm ready to publish. Okay, so let me view the page. this is Welcome to Stinkwood and Beam. Okay, so that's going to be the home page. So now I have to go back to my settings, go to my dashboard, go to my, let's see, where was that at? That was under Appearance and Customize. And if you don't know, you just ask AI, what menu in WordPress dashboard do I go to change my homepage on my page, right? So, I mean, it's that. All right, so it's homepage, and then not sample page, but Welcome to Stinkwood and Beam, and publish that, and refresh the page that I have set up here to look at it, and ta-da, here we go. I have to do something about default sidebar. Click here to assign a widget. I need to fix that. And the sample page is still showing up there. So we need to fix those things too. But before we go too much further, I want to install WooCommerce because for the shop, I need WooCommerce. Here I've got these opt-in monster things and WP forms. Oh, they didn't turn off. I don't know if you saw yesterday's video. I hate WP form. I hate opt-in monster. This is the worst fucking ripoff on the planet, in my opinion. Don't ever sign up for it. You get a $600 bill that you weren't expecting, and it's like, what the hell, you know? And it's legit, you know, but they don't make it very clear how much it's going to cost you at the beginning. So don't, in my opinion, avoid opt-in monster. It's a gimmick that gets on my nerves for sure. But opt-in monster, WP forms, these are two things that you can get rid of. We were talking earlier about plugins. Here's plugins. Plugins are, like I said, it's what you plug into your WordPress site. So we're going to get rid of these things. This comes automatically. Hello Dolly. If you activate it, you'll randomly see a lyric from Hello Dolly in the upper right of your admin screen on every page. I don't know why that comes with WordPress, but it does. I think it's ridiculous. But I'm not gonna use that. So let me deactivate opt-in monster. I can't believe it. It comes comes already loaded. Mojo Marketplace you don't really need, but it's convenient. WP Forms Lite, I'm going to deactivate that and get rid of it too, because I can't stand that they install this shit without asking me. But whatever, it is what it is. And Akismet anti-spam, you definitely need that. That's for sure something that you want. So we're going to, I've selected all the ones that I just deactivated and I want to delete. So opt-in monster, WP forms, and you got to look at the check marks, not the blue ones. The blue ones, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that they're running. You want to check mark the ones that are deactivated to remove them. You can't delete them if they're still active. So you hit apply and ta-da, they're gone. Okay, so I want to activate Akismet anti-spam. I already have an API key. I'm going to have to find that. I can't do that while I'm broadcasting. That's silly. Anyway, set up Akismet. If you don't have an account, set one up. It's like $10 a month, and it takes care of all of the Chinese hackers that try to get into your stuff through your comments. Because WordPress is so popular, it's one of the most hackable things out there. So you have to constantly monitor it, and it's a big pain in the ass. And if you really want to get out of the grind of maintaining your own website, which eventually you probably will, you need to make a lot of money on it and then pay someone else to do it. And I highly recommend that, but first make a lot of money on it. And you can do that with just the bare bones, janky, out of the box stuff that it comes with. It's fine. It's not great. It's not perfect, but it works. And just like your first talismans when you first start out as a magician, they might be ugly, but they work. Okay, so Akismet anti-spam, definitely turn that on when you get a chance to. Jetpack is also very useful. I believe in Jetpack. I'm a big fan of Jetpack. It lets you keep track of a lot of things, but also it's free, so very, very useful for free. All right, so back to plugins. We're going to add a new plugin. We're going to look for WooCommerce. And again, I use WooCommerce because I stumbled into it. Basically, it was recommended for so LearnDash. When I set up Academia Hermetica, I installed LearnDash, which is a learning management system that lets me upload courses and classes, and it does all the management stuff in the background. they recommended WooCommerce. It works really well with WooCommerce and several other packages. But I installed WooCommerce. You just pick one and go with it, see how it works. If you don't like it, make your changes later. So I picked WooCommerce for mine, and I've been using it ever since. And from that, there are things that work better with WooCommerce, and I work with those plugins now because I have one account. I can use it on multiple websites. I just have to set it up with my information, and it will connect to my checking account, and I don't have to do anything different than that. It's very convenient. So let me go to, let's see. So I've installed it, right? It says it's active. More details. Let me go back to my dashboard. Now WooCommerce has showed up over here. WooCommerce is great, and they have another WooCommerce setup thing. And actually, if you go back to the dashboard there, they added this WooCommerce setup thing to your dashboard automatically. Pretty nice. So you got to do the store setup. So if you just go to start selling, you don't have a shop page yet, so we got to get a shop page. Okay, so let's go to, what does this do? Page, customize store. Okay, got to go to the store page. All right, so we'll set up a page. This is going to be our shop. And I'm just going to do this as a placeholder. Okay, I need a paragraph intro for my web store shop as described above. Okay, so while it's doing that, I'm also going to insert also for WooCommerce. So I told you that the WooCommerce install should have installed a bunch of WooCommerce blocks. I'm not seeing them. There's cart. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So these are all the WooCommerce stuff. So products by category list, products by category. Once I get all my products installed, I can drop this products category list in here, and it will just show like all the things that I have. So if we go to rufusopus.com, I can show you what that looks like. I'm realizing that there's a lot of page setup that has to be done, but yeah, but that's basically what it is. So so on my Rufus Opus page here, my sales page looks like it's taking its time. Sorry about that. Okay, so where's my shop? NOP. So it's alphabetical, and it only gives you 35 items per page. So here's my shop page. So edit. Okay, so yeah, so it's just says shop. Type to choose block. I don't really have much set up on it. Anyway, it should be showing. I thought it showed something different. Of course. Well, I guess that's just how it goes. All right, so I guess that's really all I need is just that. Okay, cool. So I'll publish that as shop and no text. Oh, I was going to do that. Copy that and paste that. There we go. Update. And then under that, I'll add my products lists as I get that updated. All right, so back to my dashboard. And to go back to the dashboard, you hit the W up in the left. It's your quick shortcut back to everything. All right, so let me go into WooCommerce settings. Let's do my accounts and privacy. Oh, I want to do currency. All that's fine. Products. Payments. I don't remember how to configure it to my to my account. All right, so here's the page setup for your carts. So your cart page, your checkout page, your my account page. I believe, go back to pages. Once upon a time, yeah, okay, so here's checkout page, cart page. So these are all the pages that, that's right. The WooCommerce did, in fact, make all those, so I didn't have to create this. Let me just trash that. All right, so when I installed WooCommerce, it created the shop page. It created the refunds and returns policy draft and privacy policy draft and all those things. It automatically created those for me, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, great, cool. All right, so now if you go back to your settings on your appearance, on your menus, you can add those pages to your main menu. So front page is that. We're going to add the cart, the checkout, my account, a sample page. We'll get rid of that. And you click the little down arrows here to remove it, and remove is just right there. And shop. Okay. All right, we're going to leave it as that for now. We're going to call it menu 1. That's fine. That should be good. Now, once you've got your menus created, you have to show where they're going to show up. Primary navigation is your main navigation up here. Primary navigation, you select the menu that you want it to be. Menu 1 is the one we just created. So different pages can have different menus depending on how you set it up if you wanted. But that's more complicated than it needs to be. So now I've got my Welcome to Stinkwood and Beam page. I've got my cart page, which looks like this because my cart is empty. Checkout, oh, still nothing. My account, no, well, here's your dashboard, your orders, your downloads, addresses, account details, and logout, right? So you can actually do all that stuff as an admin here from here. And then the shop page, right? There's no products yet that we've got set up. So we have to add products to that eventually. And there's even a search feature, right? So all that stuff I got just by installing the WooCommerce plugin, right? So WooCommerce does all those wonderful things for you. So I think as of status, let me see. I think it's here somewhere that I have to update something. No, it's not status. You know what? I'm just going to cheat. I'm going to ask AI, how do I connect my existing food? See, because I smoke a lot of pot, I don't remember anything anymore. But I don't have to. How do I connect my existing WooCommerce account to a new website? I think I just go to Woo. Again. Continue. Okay, my stores. All right. Here we go. Log into your WordPress site. Go to WooCommerce extensions, my subscriptions. Click on connect. Log in now. Click the approve. Okay, so now I go back to. Okay, so I go to here, my WooCommerce. It says go to extensions, my subscriptions. Extensions. Oh, look, there's a little red one there telling me that that's what I needed to do anyway. My subscriptions, connect your store. All right, click on the connect button. Let's see, it says connect Stinkwood and Beam. Read the words. Connect Stinkwood and Beam to your Fractal Redactum Opus account on WooCommerce.com. Connect your store. And it will install this WooCommerce.com update manager, which makes sure that you stay up to date. And it's very effective. I haven't had any problems with it yet. If I do have problems, I will use AI to fix it, or I will go through their customer service. So it is not a big deal. All right, so I'm going to install Woo Payments. And we should be good. Okay, so now I can get everything that I need on my site ready to go. So I've got, let me see if I've got my pictures. Yeah, let me upload some pictures. And this is just as an example. Where's my photos? Pay no attention to the Aurora Borealis. Lots of Aurora Borealis stuff. And don't look at my pictures, you guys. They're not all great. But I have a picture in here I'm trying to find. Here it is. Okay. So these are some woodworking crafts that I've started to make, and these are what I want to sell on the site. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So when you work with WordPress for a little bit, this whole media uploader thing, it says that you have a 512 meg upload max. I just uploaded a mini meg JPEG, and it was no problem. It looks like it's not uploading anything right now. It's uploading things. It's still working. It's going to do its thing. You have to go to your library and look. There's one of the pictures. Here's the one that's still uploading. Right? It hasn't done it. Oh wait, no. This is actually just the default image that WooCommerce adds. So it still hasn't uploaded the other one. So let me see what's going on. I go back to Add New Media File. Select File. Is it this one? No. No. There we go. That one. All right. But now it'll probably be up there twice because that's usually how it works for me. All right, so go back to library. All right, so we've got the two pictures of my piece. I'll get better images later, for sure. But now I go back to products, add new, and this is going to be my walnut offering cup or ring box or whatever, and describe a small walnut cup with a lid I made on my lathe. It's only an inch and a half high with the lid on and an inch high without the lid. All right. Do. So every time you submit something in AI, it reads everything you've submitted so far in the conversation, at least with Copilot. So, and it continues a conversation, and it's just a text generator that goes out, grabs information, and then continues the conversation you've started so far. So here we go. This is a charming artisanal walnut cup, handcrafted with meticulous attention to detail on a lathe. The cup standing at a petite height of, oh, look at that, this is awesome. All right, I'm just going to grab the first paragraph here and paste that in. Thank you, AI. Oops. Now you're going to make me copy it using that. Okay, so watch this. So when I paste it in here, that's what it looks like it pastes. But look what it really pastes. Sent by Copilot. Yeah, okay. All right, so you got to go in and delete that stuff if you're going to use this. ARIA label shows up on all your websites if you put this in as your thing. So you want to delete that. And the smiley face. Okay. So publish that. And you get to that by looking at the text size. So visual is what it looks like on your website. This is like the HTML view. This is web rendered. This is what it looks like in the code side, and this is where it sneaks in things like ARIA label that has something from Copilot in it. But people will give you shit about that for sure. And you people will probably give me shit about it because I'm showing you that that's what I'm doing with this. I don't really care. Anyway, so after that's done, you've got your product described. And that's honestly the hardest part, is coming up with these stupid descriptions. You put a price on it. I'm going to charge $25 for it. Sale price. There's no sale price. Inventory. I only have one. So I keep track of this stuff because I don't want to oversell things, I don't. I'm only going to have one of these. They're going to be one of a kind, every single one of the items I make. So I can't sell it might look like this sometimes, it might look like that sometimes. So I'm going to have to take pictures of each individual product. No problem. But that's where you set this up. So you go through, and when you create a new product, it's just add a new product, put in the title, put in a description here, set the product image over here on the right. That's the file I uploaded. And then set the product gallery image to the other image, so it'll show multiple pictures in your store. Inventory I set up as just the one. Price is under the general menu. Inventory is under here. This is where you set up what kind of product it is. If you're just selling an ebook, like the PDF that I set up, you make it virtual, so there's no shipping, and downloadable, and then it'll add a link that you that you can. I'm sorry. When you make it downloadable, you get this file here. So you add a file to your media library, and it produces the link that automatically gets sent to somebody when they download your virtual product. Super easy to do that with e-commerce stuff, with e-products, and all of my LearnDash stuff shows up on here. Like if I had a LearnDash thing installed on this website, I could just put the courses in there. It's all integrated with WooCommerce, and it's super easy to do this stuff if you know the basics. And that's what I'm trying to show here, just the basics. So anyway, this is just a simple product that we're going to send out. It's not virtual. It's not downloadable. It's a real life product. I've got one in stock. Shipping, it weighs about 2 ounces, which is, I think it's like point. So, and they want the weight in kilograms. That drives me nuts. It's like 0.0004, maybe 2, if I breathe heavy on it. The dimensions of the product are, let's say, length is about 2 inches, width is 1 inch, height is 1.5. Oh, centimeters they want. What is it? 0.74? I don't know. It's about length, width, and depth. Length is probably about 2 centimeters, maybe 2.5. I'll say 2 centimeters. No, yeah, 2 centimeters wide. Right? No, maybe 3. And then 3 wide. What's the length then? Height. It's really just height and width, right? What's the depth? Should be 3, 3, and probably like 5 is the height. I don't know. I can't think about it right now. Shipping class. You can set up your shipping classes, and then they would show up on this drop down here. That's under WooCommerce. On the settings, there's a shipping tab in there that we'll get to, but that shows up on shipping class. So that's where you can set up your shipping on this. Linked products, like if I wanted to say also, you might try and earn with that. Nicole has the wooden houses that she's making on her fairy house site, the otherworldcrafts.com. And if you want to add light kit to it, we have an upsell feature here for the light kit that comes with a little LED kit and we're trying to get some that turn on at night. Anyway, it's where you add your upsells, and this would suggest a light kit with the box. Cross sells is if you look on Amazon, customers who shop for this are also interested in blah blah blah. So if I wanted to sell my online courses about planetary magic, I'd say, oh, people are also interested in how to conjure these spirits that we're talking about. Here's my conjuration class, that kind of thing. So that's your cross sells. Attributes, like if you have the same thing with different colors, like I've got t-shirts and I have a red one, a blue one, and a green one. They all cost the same. They're all the same item. It's just different colors. These are attributes. Size or color attributes. If you want it to cost more, it has to be a separate product. Attributes all have to have the same price. Okay. So that's products in a nutshell. That's the main product data that you need to get. So title, right? Title up here, walnut offering cup. Product description, AI generates that for you. The short description shows up next to the product, and the full description shows up underneath the product. So let me have AI make a shortened version of that. With for a WooCommerce product short description. So it knows what a WooCommerce product short description is supposed to look like. Because lots of people have said on Reddit what a short description on a WooCommerce product site should look like, because people have broadcast their knowledge for decades about how smart they are and how much smarter they are than everybody else at everything they do. And to this day, AI can just regurgitate all these braggadocio bullshit posts that other people have made to be cool on the internet whenever you want that. And it's exactly like having your own personal insult. It'll tell you why you're a douche the whole time. Anyway, no, not really. It's a pretty useful thing. All right, so there's my product short description. I want it to be bold. I don't want stars on it. Some parts of the web parts are better at picking up AI's formatting than others. Okay, so all right, that's basically it. Two other things that we need to talk about real quick are product categories and product tags. This is very important. Your categories let you show on a page all the things that are related. So if I had, like for my Rufus Opus site, I have magical tools. Right? So if I make wands or tables of practice, or that's basically it right now. Tables of practice and wands, cigar boxes that I turn into conjuring boxes, things like that. Those are all tools, and I tag them in the category magical tools. Now I'm going to add a new category for this, and I'm just going to call this walnut items, right? Or just walnut wood. So I'm going to categorize things by wood, right? And if there's a parent category I wanted it to be related to, I could select that. So we'll call it walnut. We'll get rid of uncategorized. I also want to call it it's both walnut and also like a cup. What do you want to call a cup? With a lidded box. So in wood turning, they call these things boxes. I don't know why, but they do. So I'm gonna call it lidded box, and that, and product tag. This is it's just another layer of classification. You don't have to use tags, but it's just convenient. Offerings, ring box, whatever you want to tag it with. And then eventually you'll have the ability to choose from your most used tags and your most used categories. But right now, since this is my first product, I don't have anything I've used the most. All right, so once you've got it all set up, you just hit update. And if we go back to our Stinkwood and Beam, if we go to the shop, look, there's a product. Ta-da! Look how hard that was. Now I add it to my cart, right? And then I go to view my cart. Some will put a little number over the cart when you do that. That's something you have to pay for often, but you can get a cart that shows what the number is. And then proceed to checkout, and it will try to get me to use shop probably. Oh, I don't have any make payment things available yet. So I have to turn that on. Oh, shoot. So anyway, let's turn that on. So we go to payments. Connect your store. Sorry about that. Payments are very important. So when you install WooCommerce, WooCommerce lets you do, you have to set up your payments too. So I showed you how to set up the settings over for WooCommerce to connect it, but you also have to connect this. So this is how you approve your connection to your payments. Yeah. So now when I go back to my WooCommerce site, this should show. Yep. See, Academia Hermetica, and here's Stinkwood and Beam. Dun, 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 dun. Now this is 4 revenue streams, right? Coming into my, or 3 now because I have that turned off. But 3 revenue streams coming into our bank account, so our shared stuff. So it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So that's basically it. That's how you set up a site, and I am able to sell my stuff now at stinkwoodandbeam.com. Let me refresh this real quick, because if I refresh it, oh, it's not going to show it yet. It's still working on it. Let's get your store ready. I haven't done that yet. No. Okay, legal entity. I am a LLC. A company. I'm a single member LLC. I am a. What is this? Is it retail? I don't know. It's like collectibles. Other merchandise. Continue. Annual revenue, probably less than 250,000 for sure. It's live. Okay, so I have to verify my identity. That makes sense. They don't want everybody to just be able to set this stuff up. So I am Frater Opus. Wait a minute. It looks like I'm setting up a new account. Okay, so I should send them something on my phone. And it is, here's my secret code. And it generates a new one every time, so I'm not too worried if you see it. That's me. I would worry about you seeing my address, but anybody who buy my shit would fucking get it anyway, so whatever. Bank of America. I should be using the one I already have. So, all right, I'm going to not go through all of this on the web because I'm not comfortable doing that. You guys are nice and all, but whatever. All right, so that is basically it. You finished filling out the WooCommerce stuff, and hopefully that makes a little bit more sense than yesterday did. Sorry that wasn't all super easy and perfect the first time, but like I said, nothing ever seems to go exactly the way you anticipate it, even when you are trying your very best. But anyway, it's fairly straightforward process. I do know a lot more. I guess as I was going along, I realized that I do know more than your average bear about technical stuff. But it's all stuff I figured out on my own. And I figured it out on my own at the time by using Google to research every step of the way. And I looked at what people did because, like I said, everybody has told everybody how cool this stuff is. So anyway, Masonic Traveler, you have some very interesting questions about knowledge and conversation and how you think we can achieve it. But today we were talking about building websites to sell products because I think occultists do that to make money. I think it's a useful way to make money because a lot of us are broke-ass and a lot of us are super creative, and it's just very easy to set up ways to create money streams off of your stuff. And like Etsy and all these places that make money off of your art are gouging artists now, and it's super easy to set up a site. After that's done, you set up your Facebook ads, which are fairly simple again to set up, and you rely on your community to help support you and you support your community as you can. And it turns out that as we do this with each other, the rising tide lifts all boats, and it's a very easy way to do that kind of thing. And if you're not into this kind of thing, by all means, don't do it. I'm not saying everybody has to do this to be an occultist or they're not real magicians or whatever. I don't tell people whether or not their magic is real. It's not my job. But this stuff is just, to me, it's pretty straightforward stuff since 1999. Since we had GeoCities, you set up a website and you put pictures of your stuff up and a way to buy it. I'm working with an artist friend of mine now. I'm going to set up a page for them to where they can sell their designs that I put together for them and send to them as they need them, and or however they want to source it, whatever. I'm happy to have somebody else do it if they wanted to. But I'm facilitating them by setting up a page on my site, and they can put their products on it and put their own buy now button on it using PayPal, and that's all you need is a page and a PayPal button. You don't have to use WooCommerce. You don't have to do that at all. If you go back to the page setup, when you set up the page, you can insert what's called a custom HTML code, and you paste the code that PayPal gives you when you set up a new button into that HTML thing, and it just has a PayPal button right next to your picture and a text block, so it shows you that describes what you're selling. And there's so many online tutorials, so much better than mine. All I'm doing here is showing you how easy it is for a bumbling fool like myself to do this, right? And if I can do it, literally anybody can do it. All right. Anyway, thanks a lot, you guys. I hope you guys have a good time. I hope that was informative, and I hope everybody that is interested can feel comfortable registering a domain, installing WordPress, talking to customer service as necessary, waiting a day, and then setting up your template and your WooCommerce and all that stuff. It is so simple. So like yesterday I started, I've spent a total of $27. And if you right now go to stinkwoodandbean.com, you can buy my walnut lidded cup, and I'm not really going to sell that. That's a practice piece. I'm learning how to do all this stuff, but as I do, I'm going to put them up for sale and advertise them on Facebook and see what happens. Why not? It's fun, and why not make some money at it? Anyway, have fun. Have a great day. Hope your weekend is wonderful. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms and that celebrate that kind of thing. And everybody have a